Ready and go. Hi, my name is Mr. Evangelista, and welcome to another episode of Evangelista Science. In this episode, we're going to be making a Scratch project for chemistry. The first thing you need to do is press create. And it's going to create the project, and it should look like this. So let's go to the Events tab, and we're going to have when the green flag is clicked. Now in the Control tab, we're going to need this forever block, and then 4 of these if-then statements. 3 and 4. In the sensing block, we're going to put these key space press blocks in the if-then statements. Now we've got these drop-down menus. These are going to go up arrow, down arrow, right, and left. Now let's go to motion. Motion, I need this go to, and I'm going to put it between the when the green flag clicked and the forever loop. Now if I want to go up, that's the Y direction, so I'm going to change Y by positive 10. If I want to go down, that's going to be negative 10. If I want to go to the right, that should be positive X, and if I want to go to the left, that should be negative 10. Let's take a look. Press the green flag, and we should be able to move around. Perfect. Now, I want him to turn, like if he's going left, I want him to face left, so let's do that. I need this block, set rotation style left, right. Put that in there, and then when he turns right, you need him to point right. And if he turns left, we need to make him turn left. If I press the green flag again, I should be able to move back and forth. Now to finalize this a little bit, please go to the Looks tab and look at this, where is it? Next costume. I'm going to need to put that in every single if statement. So for the up, the down, the right, and the left. So then now when you do it, he should switch between his costumes and he'll be able to run around. Perfect. We're going to make a new sprite. Actually, before we do that, let's make a backdrop. Okay, so click over here to backdrops. And to do this, we're going to need a periodic table. So we're going to go to Google. And I'm just going to type in periodic table. And go to images. I want this one. So I'm going to save this one. And when I go back to Scratch, if I go to backdrops, again I click backdrops here and then backdrops, I'm going to, let's see, upload a backdrop. And I'm going to choose that file that I made before. Now I don't want it to be this big, so I'm going to move it down a little bit. I don't want these, I'm just going to get rid of the lanthanides and actinides, so I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to move this down to the bottom here. Like that. Perfect. Now I'm going to go back to my cat. I want to make him so that he's big enough to fit in one box of elements. So let's see, we need to change his size. So let's set his size to, let's see, 25%. So let's click green flag, and that looks pretty good. It looks like he can fit in that row. It's going a little fast, so let's change this to 5, -5, 5, and -5. Let's see what that looks like. Good, that's better. Now when I start this program, I want him to go here instead of at 0, 0, so I'm going to take this off, take this away, and put his current position in there instead. So now when I press the green flag, no matter where he goes, he'll go back to that spot when I press the green flag. Now, I only want him to be able to run within the periodic table. I don't want him to be able to run up here, so let's fix that. I would need to go to operators, and I need 4 of these AND blocks. And in addition to those blocks, I'm also going to need 2 of these greater than blocks them together, and 2 of these less than blocks. And so I need to take these blue ones out and put them in here. Let's do that for all of them, the right and the left. And now I'm going to put this in there, this in here, put the right one in here, and the left one in here. Now in here we're going to put those, so we need a less than in here, a greater than in here, a less than in here, and a greater than in this one. Alright, now let's find out what are the borders of our cat are going to be, okay? And so this is the highest I want him to go. So that's probably about -17. And so let's see. If I go to motion, I've got this Y position, so I want the Y position to be less than -17. And then I want the Y position, what's it at the bottom? So the bottom here, if this is the lowest I want him to go, it's at -164. So I want it to be greater than -164. That's his Y position. So let's talk about the X direction now. If this is the leftmost I want him to go, the X, put it over here, the X should be greater than, he is at -204 right now. And on this side, put the X in here. The most I want him to go over is probably right here, and so that's an X of 224. Okay, so when we press the green flag, he should not be able to, oh, I think we got something backwards, hold on. Hold on, let me figure this out. Okay, sorry for that little mess up there. So it should be 226 is greater than the X position when we press the right arrow, and then -206 is less than the X position when we press the left arrow. So now you can see, oh, I can't go any higher than that, I can't go any lower than that, I can go to the left of this, and I can't go to the right of this, okay? And so we're going to add some extra sprites. So we're going to paint a sprite, and we're going to use this text tool, click right in the middle, and we're going to call this atomic radius. And you can do this whatever color, but I'm just going to do black. And atomic radius, I want this to be in the middle about. Okay, and so let's go to the code for atomic radius. I want this to be up here, so we are going to do, when the green flag is clicked, that's in the events, motion, we're going to go to this position. Okay, now, I'm going to add some more costumes, so we're going to duplicate that by right-clicking it, and I'm going to change this to electronegativity. Then duplicate that, and we're going to have another called ionization energy. And so we have our 3 trends that we were talking about. I'm just going to center these. Middle there. Okay, so we have, oh, I think we need to move these to the left a little bit. Okay. So let's move this to the left a little bit and get rid of this and put this in. Perfect. Now I'm going to click this. It's the backdrop. And I'm going to go to events. And I'm going to need 3 of these. And I'm going to change this to when I press, when the 1 key space is pressed, when the 2 key space is pressed, and when the 3 key space is pressed. I'm going to put messages in each of these. Okay. And I'm going to, new message, I'm going to call it atomic radius. Okay. I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do a new message, ionization energy for 2, and new message electronegativity. So I've got my 3 messages now, okay? Now let's go back to this sprite. Here's what I want. When the green flag is clicked, I'm going to go to looks and I'm going to say switch costume to costume 1. Let's go name our costumes real quick. So this one was costume atomic radius. This one was costume electronegativity. And this one was costume ionization energy. Okay, so in the beginning I want it to go to atomic radius. Now, in the Events tab, when I receive atomic radius, you are going to switch costume to atomic radius. When I receive electronegativity, you're going to switch costume to electronegativity. And when I receive ionization energy, we are going to, you guessed it, switch costume to ionization energy. So let's take a look. If I press 1, it should be atomic radius. If I press 2, ionization energy. And if I press 3, electronegativity. So I can switch back and forth between all of these. Perfect. Now, let's make something that represents each of these as we move around the periodic table. And so we will need to, let's do choose a sprite, and I'm going to choose this ball. Let's let this ball represent, this will be atomic radius, okay? Now let's make the costumes. So I'm going to delete all of these costumes. Okay, and let's make costumes for ionization energy and electronegativity. Okay, now it makes sense to use a ball for atomic radius because atomic radius is the size of an atom. So let's get some more pictures for the other one. Ionization energy, if you remember, is the strength of the energy it takes to remove an electron. So pretty much how strongly the atom holds onto electrons. So let's go back to Google. Let's find a good image. Finger pinch stock vector. Yes, let's do this. And let's do this one. Okay, so I'm going to save this image. I'm going to call it pinch. And when I go back to my project, I'm going to upload a costume. And I'm going to use the pinch. Now, wow, it's really big. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I am going to select it and make it a lot smaller. And I want it to be about the same size as the ball, so maybe a little smaller. And now it's about the same size as the ball. Perfect. I am also going to, let's see here, draw in here. Let's make it, I'm gonna make mine blue. Yeah, let's make a blue electron. E minus. Okay, so it's pretty much how strongly they're holding on to an electron. Right. You can't really see that. Let's make it red. See if that's better. There you go. I think that's good. Okay, perfect. So we've got our atomic radius, our ionization energy because it's holding on to the electron, and then lastly, we're going to need one for electronegativity, which, if you remember, is attraction for electrons. So I'm going to choose a costume, and I'm going to just look for a heart. Just, again, attraction for electrons. Okay, and again, I need this to be about the same size as the other ones. And so put it in the middle, and let's see. Yeah, that should be good. Okay. Now, I'm going to want 3 of these, so I'm going to duplicate and duplicate. Okay. So here's what I want. The first one, when the green flag is clicked, so I'm on the first, it's called ball. We are going to, I'm in the looks tab, and we need to show. The other ones, when the green flag is clicked, this one needs to hide, and this one also needs to hide. So again, when the green flag is clicked, we need to hide. Now, this one, when the green flag is clicked, we also need to switch our costume. Now let's name our costumes. Again, this is called atomic radius. This is called ionization energy. And this is called electronegativity. Probably should have done this before, but let's do it for all three sprites. Again, atomic radius. I'm just going to call this IE for ionization energy, and I'm going to put EN for electronegativity. Again, this one, atomic radius, I'll just put AR. This one, ionization energy, and this one, EN, electronegativity. So let's take a look back at the code. So when the green flag is clicked, all of them should hide, except for this one, and it's going to show atomic radius. Now remember, we had three things happen. So when I receive atomic radius, remember that's when we press 1, this one should, let's go to the normal size, set size to 100, and we are going to show. We also need switch costume to atomic radius. Now, when I receive the electronegativity, this one is again going to hide. And when I receive ionization energy, we're also going to hide. Perfect. So when I press 1, so there. When I press 2, you should hide. When I press 3, you should hide. Perfect. And when I press 1, you should show back up again. Okay. Now, this one is we'll call this one, the second one, the ionization energy. So we're hiding, and then when I receive atomic radius, we should still be hiding. When I receive ionization energy, this means we're going to show. We set size to 100, and we are going to switch costume to ionization energy. And lastly, when I receive electronegativity, we are going to hide. So, press green flag. So when I press 1, it should be the ball. When I press 2, it should be this hand. Okay, so we gotta fix that. Make sure, drag them where we want it. Is it the same spot? About right here. So we should go to -188, 110. Let's add that for this one too. -188, and then this one was 110. Perfect. One last one to do. When the green flag is clicked, we're going to go to -188 and then 110. Now events, again, we need when I receive this. Let's just put 3 of these out here because we'll know we'll need them. Good. This one is ionization. This one is electronegativity. Looks. This needs to hide, and finally show. Set size to 100 and switch costume to EN. Okay, so 1 ball, 2 is that one, 3 is that one. Perfect. Okay, now if you remember for electronegativity, we get to ignore the noble gases. So let's do that real quick with a sprite. Let's go ahead and paint the sprite. And to paint the sprite, I'm just going to put a box. And I'm going to put it over there. I'm going to make the box so that It's about the size of group 18. So it needs to be a little skinnier. A little more. Not too skinny. And a little longer. Okay? Perfect. So let's take a look at the code for this one. All I want it to do is when the green flag is clicked, we are going to go to this position. Okay. Now, I want it so that this only pops up when we're talking about electronegativity. So, events, when I receive, and when I receive. Let's make this ionization energy and electronegativity. Go to looks. I want it to hide for atomic radius, hide for this, and only show up with electronegativity, because it's only with electronegativity that we ignore the noble gases. Now, I want it to where I'm going to go back to my cat sprite and go to control and add another one of these if. Now, in sensing, we're going to say if he touches, we'll call this one I called Sprite 3. If we're touching Sprite 3, I want to events broadcast electronegativity. Okay? So now, let's see. Oh, we probably want him to hide in the beginning. So on this one, we need to add a hide block. Perfect. Okay, so I press 1, it's not there. 2, it's not there. 3, it's there. So when I touch it, I should go. Oh, what happened? Let's see. What are we gonna do here? We need to add something. Okay, we need to add this. So go to your cat sprite and throw out 3 of these. When I receive, when I receive, when I receive. And we'll change this to ionization energy and electronegativity. And I need 3 of these go-tos. And I'm going to change this to -205, -15. -205 and -15. Oh, if I put 25, it should be -15. Okay, that way when I switch. Okay, oops, I made this. It should be when I switch, he goes back to the beginning. Okay, and then if he touches this red bar, it should go back to the beginning as well. Okay. Okay, almost done. Here's what I need you to do for your cat sprite. Remember, we had up, down, right, and left. This is what I want you to do. You're going to broadcast new messages. So broadcast, 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 and broadcast. This one, we're going to call this up. This one, we're going to call this down. This one, we're going to broadcast right. It's for the right arrow, broadcast right. And this one, new message, we're going to broadcast left. Okay. Now, I need to go to here, and I put 4 of these. When I receive, when I receive, when I receive, when I receive. Let's put them 4 like this. Let's do the same for ionization energy. When I receive, when I receive, when I receive, when I receive. Same thing for the heart or electronegativity. When I receive, when I receive, when I receive, when I receive. Okay. Let's change this. When I receive up, when I receive down, when I receive right, when I receive left. This one, when I receive up, when I receive down, when I receive right, and when I receive left. And this one, when I receive up, when I receive down, when I receive right, and when I receive left. Now in each of these, you are going to put this in here. Chain size by, chain size by, chain size by. You're going to put that in all of them. Now, here's what I need you to do. For each of these three, atomic radius, ionization energy, and electronegativity, right? So we said 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. For each of these, what I need you to do is play with these numbers so that they follow the actual trend, okay? Meaning, go over here. Okay, atomic radius is biggest at francium and smallest at helium, which means when I go down, it should get bigger, and when I go to the top right, it should get smaller. Okay, and again, when I go to francium, it gets bigger. When I go top right, it gets smaller. It means when I go to the right, it gets smaller. When I go to the left, it gets bigger. When I go down, it gets bigger. When I go up, it gets smaller. Ionization energy, it's the opposite, right? When I go to the bottom, and you can see the fist is a little different. When I go to the bottom left, it gets small. When I go to the top right, it should get bigger. So you're going to need to play with those numbers to figure out how to do that. This one is opposite. For the third one, it should be when I get to fluorine. Fluorine should be the biggest, and francium at the bottom should again be the smallest. Remember, fluorine is the biggest for electronegativity. So you'll need to play around with that. Play around with these numbers for each of these three sprites so that when it follows the correct trend.